My name is Andy Luci. I am 51 years old. I was diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma stage 4. As of now, I've been cancer-free for 3 months. I am 100% sure that this is the place you want to be if you have cancer. I was having issues. I was having stomach pains and stuff. I thought it was gallbladder or kidney stones. So I went for an ultrasound. This is back in the valley where we live, 3 hours from here. They did the ultrasound, got it back. I read the paper and I read renal cell carcinoma on it. When I had my visit with my doctor over there, she assured me that it wasn't cancer. Told me, oh no, it's a cyst or something like that. She said she's seen it before. I was happy with that diagnosis. That's what that's what you want to hear when you see that. You want to hear, oh no, that's not what it is. So I was good with that. It wasn't until my mom urged me, you know what, you need to get a second opinion. You need to go get it checked. So that's when I came out here to the doctors out here for that second opinion. Immediately, we fell in love with the staff out here, with the doctors. They were very reassuring, and they did come to the conclusion that that it was renal cell carcinoma. I believe 2 weeks after that, I had surgery done. Dr. Linehan, I had radical nephrectomy and adrenalectomy.
His kidney may not be functional. At least the doctor thought it may not. They weren't really wanting to do any biopsies or anything because the tumor had looked so large that there really wasn't any point. And then they also realized that it had metastasized to his adrenal gland, and so they decided to just go in and remove everything. That way they weren't leaving any cancer cells behind in the kidney if they did decide to leave it. After his surgery, they realized it was in his lungs and pancreas, which that was really scary. When you don't know about cancer, when you hear pancreas, you kind of think death sentence, but it was a metastasized to his pancreas. It wasn't like he had pancreatitis or pancreatic cancer. So that was reassuring a little bit, but at the same time, really scary. When you hear, when it metastasizes, it's scary.
And then we did start with the infusions with Opdivo and Yervoy, which I was supposed to do, I believe, 3 treatments. But after the first one, it really took a toll on my body. I actually got pancreatitis because of that treatment. So we had to stop everything for 9 months until the pancreatitis cleared up. That also gave me diabetes. So I became a diabetic and had to deal with pancreatitis. So all the cancer treatment had to actually be put on hold for about 9 months until it cleared up. I did do a clinical trial, which from my understanding, it was a vaccine based on the person itself. So from what I understand, they find the proteins that are causing the cancer, and they get that from the mass that they remove, and they make a vaccine for you. So it's not a one vaccine cures all. It's one that's made for each individual. So they find whatever attacks that, and I'm here, so something worked. So since it's a trial, I mean, I don't know what to attribute it to, if it was that or if it was the treatment, the regular treatment that they offer for my cancer.
So he was on Inlita, which was twice a day, and then every 3 weeks he was getting immunotherapy infusion here at the clinic every 3 weeks. It was a 2-year treatment process. He struggled on the Inlita.
On the 10 milligrams per day, it gave me some side effects. My hands and my feet would kind of like bruise up and swell up to the point to where I was using a wheelchair.
He was in a wheelchair
because I couldn't. It would hurt me to walk. So we went from 5 milligrams at night and 5 at day to 3 milligrams. That took care of the sores and the blisters.
So the nice thing about Inlita is they actually come in 1 milligram pills. Dr. Trudowski was really good, and Anmol actually, his assistant, about staying in contact with him on how the Inlita was going, because that's pretty intense.
I would get text messages and calls from them asking how I was doing. So stuff that I didn't expect that much personal care and treatment. And Anmol would actually get mad at me if she didn't hear from me for a while. She was like, I told you to check in on me. So I appreciated all that, and it made me feel good. It made me feel that they were really vested in me getting better. I never had a doubt in my mind, like, oh, I should be somewhere else. I felt always at ease, and I was always assured that I was getting the best treatment possible here.
Dr. Linehan right away treated us like family, and for me, she made herself available if I needed her while he was home in recovery, because we do live 3 hours
During
away.
surgery.
She basically was like, here's my cell phone number, text me if you need anything. And I really felt at ease with her because I knew she was just a phone call away. We have a lot of support here. Even with the social workers here, they were very supportive. You know, do you need anything financially? We were very fortunate that we didn't have to use those resources, but they do offer a lot of those resources. It was very reassuring for me. I mean, we had kids at home, so it was scary.
Somehow we knew that we were where we needed to be. For me, in my mind, I wouldn't go anywhere else. This was it. The team out here is just awesome. Dr. Linehan, Dr. Trudowski, Ann Mall, which is Dr. Trudowski's PA. I mean, everybody, it felt like a family.
Even his infusion nurses, it's funny because the first time I had to bring him in a wheelchair, we were in the room where they access his port, and one of them walked by and she literally came and grabbed his wheelchair and took him to the back right away and was like, what's going on with you? What's happening? And they took care of him immediately. We didn't have to wait for anybody. I mean, they treat you like family here.
And that's what makes this special. That's what makes this space special.
Yeah.
It is, you know what? I'm talking to my doctor, and you know what? And you see a bunch of happy faces, emojis, and stuff like that. They'd be texting me. I'd be texting with Ann Mall, the PA. I'd be texting with Dr. Trudowski, and it was always evolving according to what was happening to me. So my treatment wasn't kind of like straightforward. It's like, okay, so this happened, so now we have to do this. I always felt like my doctors were on top of everything, and whenever something did happen, I mean, yeah, it wasn't fun or everything, but I always knew that my doctors, Dr. Trudowski, Dr. Linehan, I was confident that they're gonna find out, okay, what needs to be done next, and it makes you feel good. It puts them at the same level as you, and it just, to me, it was reassuring. My perspective was just to be optimistic about the whole situation, to live as if I didn't have cancer. I had the luxury of having a great team that let me feel that way and let me think, you know what, whatever happens, whether if I pass in a month or I survive, I mean, I'm gonna live the best life I can. So I never really told anybody other than my family that I had cancer. For me, I came at peace with it. You know what? I have this. What do we do now?
Honestly, Andy never looked sick. He never did. I mean, even though we went through difficulties, you know, there were times where he looked sick to me or to family. He never lost his hair, his beard.
If I wouldn't have gone in for that ultrasound, I probably would have
never
died from cancer. I wouldn't have caught it or whatever. So as did I feel sick because of the cancer, whatever? It really, in my case, I didn't feel it. But I mean, when I saw the mass that they took out, you know, it's like, whoa, it was there. As of December 28th, 2022, I was pronounced cancer-free. So I was able to stop all my cancer treatments. So for the New Year's, I got the best gift I can get. It was surreal. Let's say that. It's like, I can't believe it. Because I never thought I was going to hear that. Today I'm feeling great. I think I should cherish the days more. I'm going to get to see my kids grow up. Sorry. That's the hardest part of all this. Because for me, not seeing my kids get married, grandkids, that's what affected me. So I think that's the worst part. And when you're at the beginning, when you're sitting, and I was making recordings for them for when they get married, for stuff that I would miss. Now I don't get to miss that. So the days are sweeter, and I owe my life to Dr. Linehan, to Dr. Tradowski, to everybody here, to all of the staff here. I could say if it weren't for that team, I wouldn't be here. So I'm happy. Thank you for choosing the field that you're in. Thank you for excelling, for basically being for what I think is the best in their field. And not just as doctors, but as people. Because you could have a great doctor, but they could have the bad bedside manners or whatever. My doctors, Dr. Tradowski, Ann Mall, Dr. Linehan, even the Robin, the receptionist, everybody. They're not just great at what they do, but they're awesome people, and they treat you as an equal. And I'm happy to see them. I'm happy to come 3-hour drive for my appointments, because I know that I get to see the people that basically saved my life.
His last appointment was kind of bittersweet, actually, because
Yes.
it was his infusion nurses in the infusion room are like amazing. And so I know we're still going to see them because he still has to get scans every 3 months, but because they're like a family. It's weird because you don't really ever think of your doctors like that, or like the staff here.
It was a rough journey, but we couldn't have gone through it with a better team than what we had. I am 100% sure that this is the place you want to be if you have cancer.